In the year 2145, the world below has completely forgotten the legends of the great spires that once ruled the high atmosphere. For over a century, the Etheria 07 has drifted like a ghost, a silent kingdom trapped within a permanent storm of iron clouds. Today, we break the silence of the heavens, stepping into a world where time has stood still since the Great Collapse. My boots hit the metallic floor of the landing dock, the sound echoing through the hollow ribs of this floating titan. Everything is covered in a thick layer of sky moss, a bioluminescent fungus that feeds on the static electricity of the storms. The air is thin, cold, and smells of ozone and ancient copper, a testament to the advanced engineering of our ancestors. Ahead of us lies the command sanctum, the brain of this massive fortress, buried under layers of rust and forgotten memories. Every step is a gamble, as the structural integrity of the spire has been compromised by decades of neglect and lightning. I can feel the vibration of the wind shaking the entire city, a low-frequency groan that sounds like a dying beast. We are searching for the ether core, the central artificial intelligence that once managed the altitude and life support for millions. Without it, this city is just a falling mountain of scrap metal, waiting for gravity to claim its final, inevitable victory. The heavy blast doors are sealed with crystallized ice, frozen by the extreme temperatures of the high-altitude jet streams. I ignite the thermal torch, the blue flame cutting through the frost with a satisfying hiss that breaks the eerie silence. As the locks disengage, a heavy thud reverberates through the floor, as if the city itself is taking a sharp breath. The door groans open, revealing the dark heart of the sanctuary, a place no human has seen for 5 generations. The command sanctum is vast, a circular cathedral of glass and steel, now filled with the nests of high-altitude predators. In the center sits the core, a magnificent sphere of obsidian glass, now dull and cracked from years of internal pressure. I approach the console, my flashlight revealing thousands of switches and dials, each representing a vital function of the city. I connect my diagnostic data pad to the primary interface, hoping there is enough residual energy left in the emergency capacitors. The screen flickers to life, casting a dim orange glow on my visor, displaying a list of critical system failures. Energy levels are at 0%, the propulsion turbines are jammed, and the core's cooling system has completely evaporated. But beneath the errors, there is a pulse, a tiny rhythmic flicker in the code that suggests the AI is still dreaming. To wake it up, we must perform a full mechanical restoration, starting with the manual override of the primary power grid. I open the floor panels, revealing a chaotic web of burnt-out plasma fuses and snapped fiber optic cables that need repair. The oxidation is deep, a corrosive rust that has eaten into the silver-plated connectors, blocking the flow of information. I begin by removing the debris, using a high-suction vacuum to clear the dust of a century from the delicate sensors. Each component I touch feels like a relic of a golden age, an era when humanity mastered the art of flight. The complexity of the wiring is staggering, a neural network designed to mimic the biological synapses of a human brain. I must be careful. One wrong connection could trigger a catastrophic discharge of the remaining static energy stored in the hull. The restoration of the Etheria is not just a mission of engineering, it is an act of historical preservation and hope. I apply a specialized ionic solvent to the rusted panels, watching as the purple foam reacts with the centuries of oxidation. The chemical reaction creates a soft crackling sound, the sound of the past being stripped away to reveal the shining future. I use a sonic brush to vibrate the grime off the copper conduits, the high-frequency hum resonating through my fingertips. Slowly, the dull metal begins to shine again, reflecting the flickering light of my drone's sensors in the dark room. The satisfaction of seeing the original gold plating emerge from the filth is a feeling words cannot truly describe. I move to the secondary cooling vents, which are clogged with the calcified remains of the city's ancient water filtration system. With a heavy scraper, I remove the stubborn layers of mineral deposits, the scritch, scratch rhythm, becoming a meditative ASMR loop. Cleanliness is essential for the high-voltage systems we are about to engage, as any dust could cause a lethal short circuit. The sphere of the ether core is next. I use a microfiber cloth and crystal polisher to restore its transparency. As the grime disappears, I can see the intricate internal clockwork of the core, thousands of tiny gears made of sapphire. These gears were designed to never stop turning, but the lack of lubrication has locked them in a silent embrace. I inject a synthetic lubricating oil into the core's joints, the golden liquid flowing through the tiny veins of the machine. The gears begin to slip and slide, a delicate mechanical symphony that marks the first signs of life in the spire. Every polished surface reflects the light of my determination, a beacon of order in a world that has succumbed to chaos. Now we move to the heavy repairs, starting with the replacement of the main altitude governor, a massive gear train assembly. The old gear is shattered, its teeth broken by the extreme torque of a sudden drop in altitude decades ago. I use a hydraulic lift to remove the heavy iron part, gunshot in the sanctum. The new part is a masterpiece of modern metallurgy, forged from a titanium gold that will never rust or break. Sliding it into place requires precision. The tolerances are measured in microns, requiring a steady hand and a calm mind. With a heavy thud, the gear seats perfectly into the housing, and I begin to tighten the massive bolts one by one. Next is the soldering of the fiber optic neural links, the delicate glass threads that carry the consciousness of the city's AI. Precision is a blue spot across the line as I fuse the broken ends of the cables. Each connection restores a sense, vision, hearing, and balance to the sleeping giant that surrounds me in the clouds above. The smell of hot flux and melting glass fills the air, a scent that every engineer knows as the smell of progress. I replace the burnt-out plasma fuses with new ion cells, each one glowing with a vibrant, pulsating violet light of energy. A low-frequency hum that indicates the circuit is closed. The power is returning, but it is unstable. The city's ancient capacitors are struggling to hold the massive influx of energy. I must balance the load manually, flipping dozens of toggle switches in a precise sequence to prevent a total system overload. The mechanical heart of the Etheria is beating again, a rhythmic thumping from the floorboards that signals the end of decay. We have reached the final stage of the restoration, the infusion of the Chronos fluid, a high-conductivity coolant for the core. Glows with an ethereal light, illuminating the dark corners of the command sanctum with the colors of the ocean. The core begins to rotate within its housing, spinning faster and faster as the liquid reduces the friction to zero. The sound is no longer a groan, but a harmonic whistle, a pitch that resonates with the very atoms of the spire. I stand before the main control lever, the final bridge between this dead machine and a living, breathing city in the sky. With a deep breath, I pull the lever to the city. For a moment, there is total silence, a terrifying pause where the world seems to hold its breath in the dark. Stops its downward drift, the stabilizers kicking in to level the horizon as we begin our ascent. The AI's voice crackles through the speakers, first distorted, then clear and calm. Etheria, 07 systems at optimal capacity. Welcome back, architect. Altitude, 40,000 feet and climbing. All sectors report ready for civilian rehabilitation. The lights in the spire's thousands of windows flicker on, one by one, a constellation of stars reborn in the night sky. I walk to the observation balcony, the heavy glass doors sliding open with a smooth, silent grace they haven't known. The storm clouds are gone, replaced by a sea of golden light as the sun rises over the edge of the world. The city is beautiful, a floating jewel of copper and light, gliding effortlessly above the turbulence of the lower world. We have saved a piece of history today, proving that nothing is truly lost if there is someone willing to fix it. But as I look at the radar, I see 6 other shadows drifting in the distance, the other lost spires of the kingdom. Our mission is far from over. The Etheria 07 is just the first light in a world that needs many more. I remove my helmet, feeling the fresh, recycled air of the city's life support on my face for the first time. The hum of the city is now a peaceful lullaby, a promise of safety and progress for whoever will call this home. Thank you for joining me on this journey of restoration. The sky is no longer a limit, but our new beginning. This is Machine Matrix, signing off from the highest point on Earth. Until next time, keep the gears turning.